Good night, Barbados. As promised, I am back to give you an update as to where we are with the cleanup efforts and to the reopening of the country. Today was a very, very difficult day. We had closed certain organs of government and we had closed certain industries in order to facilitate the cleanup of Barbados following the significant ash deposits over the last couple of days. And the work was tremendous today. However, the cleanup efforts were hampered significantly by persons' behavior, especially on the roads of Barbados. The SSA, the Sanitation Service Authority, had started to collect the municipal garbage today, but they had to call a halt to that a couple hours into it because persons driving on the roads at excessive speeds were stirring up dust, and it made it impossible for the workers to be able to carry out their functions. I saw pictures of some persons completely caked head to toe in dust when they came back into the compound of the Sanitation Service Authority. Sanitation Service Authority will resume their cleanup tomorrow, and I've been asked to deliver this message. For those persons who have to use the road tomorrow, please have some consideration for those who are working to try to put Barbados in a position where we can continue our lives and continue our business. Drive as slowly as you can, and please be aware of the dust that your tires are kicking up. The Sanitation Service Authority made a valiant effort today, and they're going to make that effort again tomorrow, and we need to work with them. In addition, the Barbados Water Authority is experiencing significant challenges with the water in its reservoirs because Barbadians have been using record amounts of water over the last couple of days. In your cleanup efforts, please remember that this is not a 1 day or a 2 day occurrence. This problem with the dust is going to be with us for a couple of days. The best estimate is weeks into months. So it does not make sense to wash your car 4 times a day. It does not make sense to hose down your yard multiple times a day. The Barbados Water Authority is asking you to use a little bit more muscle and a lot less water. Only use water when absolutely necessary. And if you can, use non-potable water. Persons have asked, what is non-potable water? If you're someone who collects the runoff water from your roof, if you're someone who has water stored that is not fit for drinking but can be used for another purpose, that is the water we're asking you to use to wash down your yards or to deal with your vehicles. Agriculture is informed that the ash has significant nutritional value, and if you can or in a position to, please work the ash into soil, into garden beds, into your home garden if you have one, or if you can, clean up the ash while it is dry, bag it and store it. If storing it is not possible for you, then please leave the ash for collection by the Sanitation Service Authority in due course. If possible, please label the bags. Do not mix the ash with municipal waste. Do not put the ash in with other trash because this is causing problems with the compactor trucks of the Sanitation Service Authority. With respect to the cleanup campaign, we started in a major way on the highways, the significant highways, and this is a all of government and joint public sector, private sector approach. Most of the construction companies in Barbados are involved in this cleanup process, and we are tackling the major arteries and the major highways first before we get to the secondary roads. This will take a while because of the nature of what it is that we have to do. We are cleaning up the ash, and in some instances, as you're cleaning the ash is still falling. We've started to clean Bridgetown as well. They started from Fontebelle and moving into Bridgetown. The Sanitation Service Authority and the private sector is going to be working throughout the night to try to get Bridgetown clean so that we can have some semblance of normalcy tomorrow. Now I'm going to get to what it is that everybody wants to know. What is open tomorrow or what is still closed? With respect to fish markets are still closed to the public, but vendors are allowed to come in and check on their fish boxes. Ice will be provided for the fishermen, but there will be no selling of either ice or fish to the public. The markets are mostly open air and they're filled with ash, and the constant inflow of traffic and ash makes it very, very difficult for the markets to be open at this point in time. The ministry will continue to clean on Thursday and Friday and aim to open the fish markets for business as normal on Monday. The Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has advised that all of the markets are ready to be reopened with the exception of the Cheapside market, which will be finished for Thursday. So all the markets are open with the exception of Cheapside market, for which cleaning is continuing, and this is expected to open on Thursday. There's going to be limited opening of the port tomorrow to deliver full containers only. Nothing will be processed from Shed 2 or Shed 4. So there's no collection of personal effects or no collection of less than a container load from the port tomorrow. The port, while significant cleaning has been done at the port, the cleanup process is still ongoing. So we are trying as best as possible to still facilitate commerce while working through what is a difficult situation. So for now, nothing will be processed from Shed 2 or from Shed 4, and only full containers will be processed through the port. In relation to the airport remains closed as of this time, and we will get a further update from Gaia Inc. or from the Civil Aviation Authority as to the timelines that the airport is working with. We are hesitant to set absolute timelines because everyone is working hard to try to get their respective sectors open. So when that situation arises, we will open the sectors immediately. So please listen out for a further update from the Civil Aviation Authority. The areas of government that deal with the public are, as we indicated yesterday, they'll be open from tomorrow. All other departments are set to open on Thursday. The polyclinics will be open tomorrow. The hospital is open, and Barbados Water Authority and the utilities have reported that they are working as best they can, and they're trying to supply the full service to persons. That is from the government side. So now with respect to the private sector, retail and normal business can commence if you are in a position to do so. This is contingent on your having been able to clean your premises sufficiently that your employees can work safely in them, and patrons or customers can actually attend to do their business without threat to themselves or their health. So the private sector can open tomorrow. Commerce can resume tomorrow once they're in a position to do so. There has been some concern expressed with respect to passengers on flights and their PCR testing, either for traveling or for coming into Barbados, occasioned by the closure of the airport. With respect to outgoing passengers, the Ministry of Health will not be charging for a retest, either PCR or rapid antigen, to board your flight to your destination. Therefore, if you need a second or even a third test to meet the requirements of your flight, there will be no additional cost. Tests are to be done at the gymnasium or at the polyclinic. As concerns incoming passengers, persons are advised to be retested to board overseas. In the event that they cannot receive a PCR test, arrangements have been made for testing at the airport. This is the Grantley Adams International Airport. Quarantine will then be required for 5 complete days with repeat tests to exit quarantine on day 6. Quarantine will be allowed at a designated hotel or at Paragon Base. Barbados, it has been a difficult time. It has been a very difficult time for us. But I keep making the point, and I want us always to bear in mind that as difficult as it is for us, we cannot forget our brothers and sisters in St. Vincent who are experiencing an even more difficult time than we are. Tomorrow, we will come to you and we'll advise how assistance can be rendered to SEDIMA and how donations can be made to assist the relief efforts in St. Vincent. But for now, I just want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank you for your cooperation so far. I ask you please to be considerate of the persons who are working to try to get our country back on track, and drive slowly and use less water. But Barbadians, please stay safe.